Hola Colchoneros, this is me, Alex, and I have with me Saint Keeks, and it seems like he has changed his team to Malaga. I don't think I think it happened because either Nino moved to Malaga or I think something related to that. So Saint Keeks is a Malaga fan for a few days, I guess, before he comes back to us. But anyway, we have a lot to talk about Saint Keeks. I mean, just a week ago we did like a video of the transfers. Like we had Alex Baena and we have Matteo Ruggeri coming in for Atletico de Madrid, and this time we have two more signings to talk about. We have Thiago Almada, which actually happened today only, and the way it happened again, it was just like Matteo Ruggeri. The news comes in. I mean, like the news was coming 2 days ago, but still like the process, like it just happened so fast, and like Thiago Almada is an Atletico de Madrid player now. And I mean, like we'll talk about this in detail, obviously. And then a much awaited signing for Atletico, which was Johnny Cardoso. We were hungry for a defensive midfielder, and finally, after 2 seasons, we have a defensive midfielder. Maybe more than 2 seasons actually. So Johnny Cardoso is the first. I think he's the first American to is gonna play for Atletico, right?
I think so. I think he is. We'll have to
Yes. Okay.
we'll talk to him afterwards. I'm sure he'll know.
Yeah, I mean, like, sure. But anyway, moving on. Then we have a few sales as well. Rodrigo de Paul is on his way out of Atletico de Madrid. We talked about this in the last episode as well, and now it seems like it's the move is very close, and he's on his way to Miami, and
Mhm.
he's on his way to his girlfriend as well. So like, hopefully they can have a happy love life in US. And then also we're going to talk about some rumors, which include Ademola Lookman and a very strong rumor which is going on right now. I mean, like, I guess, like, when we'll post this video, I think like that move would be closed, and that will be of his Arezzo to Atletico de Madrid and Nahol Molina leaving Atletico de Madrid. Let's see. The rumor is going on right now, and I think something's gonna happen. That's for sure. Because when we'll post this video, I think like that news will be out pretty soon. So yeah, we'll start with Johnny Cardoso. So Johnny Cardoso, I mean, like it's a much awaited signing since the start of the transfer window. We knew like everything was agreed with Real Betis, and it's just the official signing to be announced. We were just talking about like whether the signing would be done before the Club World Cup, and eventually it wasn't the case. So yeah, so it happened after the Club World Cup. So finally, we have our Englishman. He has arrived, and after Gold Cup as well.
Right.
After a disappointing defeat to Mexico in the Gold Cup as well.
Hmm.
I mean, Pochettino has some questions. Like he has to give some answers to some questions. But
Hmm.
anyway, I mean, it's not my USA is not my team, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. So Johnny Cardoso, I mean, like I'm really happy for this signing, to be honest, because I think like Johnny Cardoso will give much more freedom to Pablo Barrios and the midfielder. I mean, like now Rodrigo de Paul isn't here, so like whoever will come in, or maybe Almada comes in, we play Almada in that position. I don't know. I don't think so. Like we'll play Almada in that position, but I think like another midfielder will come in that position, or maybe Simeone will go for Gallagher. I have no idea. But let's see. So Johnny Cardoso, I think like he will provide much more freedom to our midfielders, to the number eight, which is going to be Pablo Barrios. And Pablo Barrios, I think like again, it's a very good move for Pablo Barrios, because again, like he can flourish this season, and we can see. And I'm really excited for this one. We can actually see the best of Pablo Barrios this season, because he's gonna get so much freedom up front because of Johnny Cardoso. And Johnny Cardoso, guys, again, this guy, he came from Brazil. Like, don't think of me as like as an American. Actually, he's half Brazilian as well. So he has that joga bonito in him. Okay, so he actually like, played almost like most of his football in Brazil, and then he was signed by Tottenham, and then Tottenham then later
No,
on
you
like
signed by
they
Betis.
come again.
You signed by Betis from International, I think it was.
So wait, hang on. I thought like it was Tottenham. Like from Tottenham,
No,
he went to Betis.
no, he got Tottenham got part of his shares when it had something to do with the Lo Celso deal. So Lo Celso wanted to go back to Real Betis. Well, wanted to go to Real Betis, I should say. And um, Real Betis don't have money, normal stuff for La Liga clubs. So they struck a deal, which is a very interesting deal, which is to share some of his shares, or some of Cardoso's shares, meaning that in a certain window, in this same transfer window, um, Johnny Cardoso could go for 25 million, which was the set price that they had asked for. Uh, that didn't obviously work out, but yeah,
Yeah, so okay, right, fair enough. I mean, like, so for Real Betis signed him, and then this season, like, he has, like, I mean, like, not this season. I think the previous season as well. I think like he is progressing pretty well, and like he has exploded, especially this season. So, and I hope like it continues, to be honest, because under Simeone, like he will definitely get better in his defensive capabilities, and
hmm
hopefully we can see the best out of him. And I mean, like, hopefully we can see someone like again Thiago, like the only Portuguese player for us who has actually played good for us. Like been there for us. And then, I mean, the last time we had a defensive midfielder was Jeffrey Kondogbia. I really loved his performance against Man United, the way he shut down Paul Pogba. But anyway, ever since Jeffrey Kondogbia, we didn't really have any defensive midfielder. We signed Axel Witsel, but then again, we turned him into a centre back, and then we had to like manage between Koke and Pablo Barrios here and there. I mean, like Koke did a really good job actually in that position. I mean, like he did a
only was
fantastic. Yeah, exactly. He overworked in that position. But again, Koke is not a defensive midfielder. But again, since we didn't really have much options, I think like he did a pretty good job. But we definitely lacked a defensive midfielder, and I mean we were expecting too much from Koke in that position, and finally we have one. And also, actually, I'm kind of happy that Jeffrey Kondogbia left, because I think like if Jeffrey Kondogbia didn't left, I don't think Pablo Barris would have got that much minutes. Like, you get me. Let's say Jeffrey Kondogbia is still at the club. I don't think Pablo Barris would get those minutes, because Jeffrey Kondogbia leaves, and then we had some injuries in midfield, and then Pablo Barrios came in, and then he got some minutes, and then it continued. So I mean, like, in a way, it kind of helped us, I would say, but
in a strange way. Yeah,
in a strange way, yeah, in a strange way, it kind of helped us. So yeah, but now I think Johnny Cardoso, I think this is a perfect signing for Atleti, I would say. Your thoughts on Johnny Cardoso?
I think Cardoso. We've this is like our third time talking about Cardoso, so I guess and you've given a pretty good preamble about him. So I think um, what I'll say, I try and say something new, which is I think Cardoso represents for Betis a team. Betis is a team that's relatively very technical. They like to play some nice football. They like to pass these other things, right? But you've noticed, especially this year, more so than the other years, somebody has to do the dirty work, and that's effectively what Cardoso had been doing for the entirety of the season. Mark Ruka as well, but he's been in and out of injury. And when you see Betis getting to do these forward runs and these great counter attacks and all these other things, it's because of the fact that Cardoso is able to be an anchor in the midfield, being able to get into interceptions, getting the ball off, turning over the play, and from them you get like a counter attack. There's some really nice things that he has facilitated Betis into doing. We saw it multiple times this season. We saw it against us when we lost at 1-0 against in Betis. That could have been much worse than 1-0, as you mentioned before. Um, we saw it in the Conference League final, where he looked like Imperial over Chelsea in the first half. Obviously, it collapsed in the second half, but part of that is, I guess, I'd say I don't want to be too disrespectful to Betis, but it's like the squad was thin. There's only so much you can ask out of certain players before you have to look into your squad and say, can you give me a little extra? And I don't think Betis really had that. But Cardoso is and has been one of the best pivots in the league. And I think if we're being serious, I think he had the best performance of a pivot this season in terms of being able to in terms of off the ball work. There's nobody else who really comes close to him. especially and more especially the fact that he's still what 23. You know, so it's interesting. He is American,
And this time we have a 200 million release clause on him.
yes.
Like
So we're not going to
we're not
immediately let
making,
him
yeah,
go next
yeah,
summer for like
we're not,
what 3 years.
yeah, we're not making that Rodri mistake again.
Right.
Good.
Um, so we're also in a better. I don't know. I think we should have been in a better financial position after already selling a lot of players. We didn't need to put such a low release clause in Rodri's situation, but I guess it whatever. That's another conversation for another time. I think when we get there, we'll get there. But for now, it's just like a when you look at the previous iteration of our defensive midfielder, it's like Kondogbia, where he's similar in a lot of ways in the sense that passing is not necessarily, at least short passing, is not necessarily his strong suit. I think he's very good at it, and he has evolved massively in that period of time, especially under Pellegrini and Betis. And I think he is at a level where he's good enough to do so here. I hope he gets to even a higher level because I've seen moments of him where it's just like, oh, you really do have that pass in you, but he doesn't always try it. Maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe it's a, I'm not sure. We'll see as time goes. But when you look at our previous iterations of midfield, like you mentioned before, um Kondogbia leaving may have been a good thing for Barrios because it was Cookie and Paul as a main two when we were playing midfield. Kondogbia was effectively the substitute, and you'd have Lamar as well. And then Barrios was kind of like fifth or sixth choice in terms of midfield. And while Kondogbia and Barrios worked well together, that was not a constant theme of midfield, and Barrios kind of got to shine because of the fact that Lamar was either injured or Kondogbia eventually fell out with somebody in the training staff, I believe it was, and eventually would have left. So by it's a weird situation. Now we have Barrios coming up, and we effectively are replacing Kondogbia in a different way. I don't think he'll ever be that kind of impact off the ball because Kondogbia is huge. He's like 6'2" or 3" and like very long legs. You could see whenever Kondogbia was near somebody with the ball, it's like, oh, you're losing that. Yeah. So we'll see. Um, as you mentioned with the USA Mexico thing, he didn't get to play. I think he got injured. I think he got a small ankle injury before, so he couldn't play finals. But he probably would have impacted our finals. I don't know why Pochettino went into national team football so early, but we'll see. I think Cardoso coming to our team and being under an Argentine coach maybe will help Pochettino in his ventures with America. That's all I can. All the advice I can give to any of American fans, and the fact that he is American does bring a new audience to Atletico, which is, I think, probably one of the more important parts. I think for maybe the management getting into a new market and all that. So yeah, I'm excited. I would like to see what he can do. I think it's a shame that he is the only defensive midfielder we've had in the past 3 years, and it kind of does put a little bit of a shade on. Koke did fantastic in the 2021 season, and I think it kind of cut his legs a little bit, and it cut into his longevity a little bit. Because it's like you saw in the next season and the season after that, he wasn't quite the same, you know. I was worrying that it could have happened the same way to Barrios. I'm glad that we've stopped that earlier, but I'm still not sure what that impact will be in terms of the other parts of the game. What happens if Cardoso gets injured? Is it right back to Barrios again? Barrenechea just went to Benfica for 15 million. That could have been an easy substitute. You know, there's options. There's things that I is a
I mean,
little weird.
we will sign we will sign a midfielder, that's for sure. I mean, like, but I think like Javi Guerra gonna come in. So
Yeah,
because yeah, Ricardo Richard, I think like he's going to AS Roma. So I
yeah,
think yeah, Javi Guerra will come in. So I think maybe we can switch Gallagher in that position as well. Maybe, I don't know. Depends on Simeone. I mean, the good thing is like, like we are making the signings before the preseason, so Simeone has time to experiment with the tactics. Like he can experiment with the positions as
right.
well of different players. So that's a good thing, I would say. But yeah, anyway, good point, I would say. I mean, like Johnny Cardoso again has been like you talking about like Valencia, like he came, like he went for 15 million. I mean, like Johnny Cardoso, like we didn't pay much for him as well. I think it was around what, like around 30. Like if I add the
25
add-ons
is
as well,
the
yeah. Like
fixed.
if yeah, if I add the add-ons as well, so yeah. I mean, like it's a really good deal, I
Don't
would
get,
say. 20.
don't get it wrong. I think if I had like a short list of players I wanted for DM, and Cardoso was either number one or number two, it was kind of swapping between him and Baron. So I'm not upset by any means. This is one of my top picks, and I'm more than happy that he came to us. Um,
True. And also, if you're an American watching our channel, so this is a place where you wanna be for Atleti stuff. So make sure you subscribe that button. You know, let the eagle fly. Yeah. Anyway,
so yeah,
uh,
we'll
anyway,
see what happens with Cardoso. I'm happy with that. There's not much downsides I can see from the Cardoso deal. It's just the other implications, which is if something happens to Johnny, are we just right back to what we used to be last season? And I think that's a central theme for a lot of these new signings that we're having.
yeah. I mean, that's a good thing, and that's what I'm saying. Like because again, like if we sign Javi Guerra has played in that position. So I mean, the good thing is we're doing it before the preseason, so Simeone has
But
time to
we can
experiment with these
figure these
things.
things out. We'll see. I
Exactly.
don't think there's going to be
Exactly.
too many this summer because
Exactly.
of the fact that we have them. They already rested, so we'll figure
And
it out.
then again, like Paul Baris can go back, you know, in that number six position, and or maybe like Cookie can go back. But yeah, I mean, like we do have like options. But Johnny Carlos was definitely a
Hmm.
must get, and he's finally here, and I'm really happy. Moving on to the next one. Now, this happened within 2 days, and today this one was official. So, Thiago Almada has joined Atletico de Madrid, and this one I'm confused about the fee structure. Like, I have no idea like how much it's gonna cost us. So, some says like it's 20 million for his 50% of rights. Some says it's 20 million for his full rights, and then we have to pay Botafogo 10 million if we don't sell him within 3 years, which I don't know like what kind of a deal is that, to be honest.
Sounds like a John Textor deal right there. Bro. Nothing makes
Yeah, I
sense.
mean, I'm just gonna put it like average. I would say 30 million, 30, 30 million. I would say. So yeah, Thiago Almada for 30 million. I mean, this signing, I am very confused for this one. First of all, the timing of it. I mean, like Thiago Almada wasn't really like a necessary signing at the moment. I would say at the moment, as in like at like within this span of time. I meant like maybe you can think about Thiago Almada like next month like that. I'm saying like this
But
span of
about
because
players in priority.
exactly. I mean exactly because again like if we are like like we are okay to spend let's say 30 million for Thiago Almada. I mean, then we can go for Lookman as well, and that was a much better signing at the moment because Inter is pushing for Ademola Lookman, and like it would have been a much better choice if we would have gone for Lookman at the moment because of the competition. And with Thiago Almada, I would have said like since again like he's a long fan of Atletico Madrid. Like he's been supporting Atletico Madrid since childhood. So I think like he would have definitely waited for us. Like this was a signing that shouldn't have been hurried, you know, the way it was, because I think like we should have taken into account the Ademola Lookman operation at the moment and seal that first, because again like we face competition from Inter, and now in order to sign Lookman we need to sell a player. And I knew, I just know, if we're going to sign Lookman, Samuelino is gone.
Hmm.
uh, Samuelino is gone. So yeah, I mean like I think like he's also leaving us. Let's see what happens with this Lookman situation. But back to Almada, I would say, I mean, this guy has exploded this season. I mean, like we knew, like from the MLS as well, like there was this hype about Argentinian player of Thiago Almada, and and then he went to Botafogo. I mean, like we were really close to sign him in a winter transfer market as well. It didn't really happen, and then
Like
he went to
25
Botafogo.
million.
Yeah, he went to Botafogo, and then he from Botafogo went to Lyon, and then he performed pretty good. Actually, I would say in the past few months, Thiago Almada has been really solid, to be honest. Like with the Argentinian national team, I mean, with the goal against Uruguay, Colombia, and then again that assist to Julian Alvarez as well. I think in Chile, yeah, Chile. It was Argentina against Chile. So Thiago Almada was performing really well in the Argentina national team, and again, so this is the club Thiago Almada really wanted because he's a big fan. This literally like looks like a perfect replacement for Angel Correa for me because they're literally the same profile. So literally the same profile, if you'll ask me. But then the only problem I have with this operation is the transfer fee. Like, are we overpaying for it? Because again, Thiago Almada won't start. Like he'll be used as a sub, just like Angel Correa was used. So did we overpay for him? I would say maybe yes, because again, like 30 million for a substitute, like as Atletico de Madrid, I think it's a big amount, and especially the fact that like right now we should have been focused on Ademola Lookman, because again like we can get him for around 40, so that was really reachable at the moment if we wouldn't have gone for this one. So I'm in a mixed zone on this one. Like also beside the fact like some says like he's been accused of something. I don't know like, if it's true or not. Like if someone can confirm me in the chat.
Two
Uh,
charges.
Yeah, exactly. Like someone can confirm me on the chat. I don't really know. I tried to find some articles. I couldn't find it, but yeah, someone can tell me in the chat like if it's true or not. Because you've been accused of a couple of things. But I would say, I mean, footballers. I mean, like we see it quite often with these charges and all. So I don't know what to say about that, whether it's true or not. But anyway, moving on, I think as a footballing point of view, I think Thiago Almada is a really good signing. The only thing I don't like about this is the fees we paid for him. If I'm gonna ignore the fees, I would say Thiago Almada is a really good signing. But now that I like think about like Thiago Almada was costing us around 40,
For the
like at the start of,
20% is right.
yeah, at the start of the operation. So if you think about this, like if you're okay to spend like let's say even 30 or 40,
If you
like
just close both eyes, this is a really good deal.
like exactly like why didn't you go for Mastantuono?
You see, when you start asking questions like that, you start to look at the wider picture and you start to see things you shouldn't see. We don't need to
No,
talk
I'm
about that.
just I'm
Yeah.
just saying like if you're okay to spend 40 on Thiago Almada, I mean his release clause is around 40, 45 something. I think like again like you should be able to convince Mastantuono to join Atletico Madrid. You should be. He's Argentinian. He has literally everything in our favor for Mastantuono. But anyway, we didn't really look at. I mean, like he was the perfect replacement, I would say. But anyway, we missed out on him. Fine. Then we were linked with Adamola Lookman, and Lookman again. The guy is in his prime. He's 27. He's in his prime. So for 40, that's a really good deal for Lookman for 40. But no, like so somehow our priority changed to Almada, and now we're looking to sell someone in order to secure Lookman signing. I mean, if you think about it, just wait for Almada because again, like he's a big fan of Atletico de Madrid. He will definitely wait for
If
Atletico de
you
Madrid.
if you
So
look at
why
it
don't
from
you
the
like?
point of view of the opportunity, as you said, right, everything you say makes perfect sense to me. If you are a big fan of it,
Your mic, bro. Your mic, a little bit closer.
can you not hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So if you think of this as a market opportunity, um, and like you're saying, like your logic tracks, if you think of this as a market opportunity, he wants to join Atletico, and this is a possibility for him, and he would really want to come and all these other things. Why are you rushing for him? It's July. This is not a position we need. We are very much locked in that position, right? We played Lino and Gallagher on the left wing last season. We play We bought Bayana, who is the most creative under 23 player in Europe. The other players who are in his same category are Cole Palmer, Woods, and like Bellingham. It's like these are not nobody players. These are very, very top tier players that we're talking about, right? We got them for 40 million, which is insane. We're stuck in this position. Lino can play as a winger as well as a sort of a creative capabilities, and he can play further forward. Gallagher has been playing on the left wing as a midfielder. He could also play on the right, but we don't need anything here. This is not a this is not a priority. If you want to sell Lino, and you do eventually sell Lino, and you want to replace him with that, okay, I don't approve, but okay, do it later when you can guarantee it. Why, when you have somebody who has real interest with Lookman, who is a very, very good player, why would you not go after him first? Why we have three centre backs right now, right? We have not managed to find another centre back. Mourinho seems to be not on our agenda. Why would you go after Almada right now? You know. So sorry if I got to you, but yeah.
True, true. I mean, exactly. That's what I was thinking. But again, like I think footballing wise, this is a good signing. Like Thiago Almada is a really good player. I would say like he's technical. He has that ability. He has that like very good right foot as well. So I think Thiago Almada can be a good signing. I'm just not happy with the price tag. And I mean, like Leon was getting relegated. What happened to that? Like we could have, like like who fucking stopped the relegation? Because again, if we were getting him, like at least getting for cheap, who stopped the relegation?
He's not from he's not from Leon. He's technically signed to Botafogo, so he doesn't.
Botafogo, yeah, but still,
Yeah.
but yeah.
No, you're
Anyway,
right. You're right. You're right.
anyway,
Um,
guys, do let us know your opinions in the comment box. What do you think about Johnny Cardoso and Thiago Almada as well? And now, next topic. Again, so this is
I wanted to talk
news.
about
Just
it.
this news just coming in. It's very latest news. So Rodrigo De Paul. So what I hear right now is Rodrigo De Paul will go on loan to Inter Miami with the purchase option for 15 million euros. The
It's a
player
loan.
has it's a loan. Yes, it's a loan. He has signed a 4-year contract and he is expected to renew with us until 2027 before leaving on a transfer.
Then why would you sell it for 15 million? Then?
Again, this transfer. Okay, now this is. I'm just bamboozled right now. Just give me a minute. I am so bamboozled. Okay, yeah. Sorry. So, okay, I'm really confused. Okay, so DePaul has agreed to a 4-year contract. Okay, now I
Uh-huh.
don't know if it's with Atleti or if it's with Inter Miami. Because again,
You can't sign a 4-year
so
contract if you
Atleti
have
are
four.
expected. Yeah, so like we have a 1-year option, right, for DePaul. So Atleti is expected to trigger that 1-year option. Okay, so he will renew for 1 more year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this doesn't make any sense at all to me. Like, why would you like put him on a loan? Like, why wouldn't you like just sell him? Like, what are you trying to like gain from this? Because you won't receive the 15 million right now because you're giving him away on loan, and then after a year you'll get 15. So you're literally giving him away this season for nothing.
Okay. All right then.
Okay, make it make sense. Yeah, Saint Keeks, you have to help me out on this one. Like, I'm still trying to like get my head around this
I
situation.
I'm a little confused. So Rodrigo De Paul had one of his best seasons, if not his best ever season in midfield for Atletico, as well as one of the better seasons in Europe. When you look at his through ball capabilities, his creation, his shot creation actions, he's very clearly highly creative in a midfield, and he did so on a Champions League level stage. He did so in the league level stage, or in one of the best leagues in the world, in La Liga. Played admirably against both Real Madrid, Barcelona, Villarreal, Atletico Club. There wasn't really a time we could say he was particularly poor outside of the first 2 months, and then maybe the club woke up. A very good season, right? I think me, you, and when we did the the show with Ricky and Jeremy all said the frustration part of DePaul has always been his inconsistencies. Right, we got a consistent-ish season out of him. He's a year left on his contract. We don't want to renew him because he's 30 or 30, but he's around 30 and he has a year left on his contract. Does it really make sense to keep him? He's just proposed to Tini. A lot of really bad signs around, like red flags around the thing. So you say, okay, you'll sell him 15 million for a guy with a year left on his deal and 30, despite the fact that he's one of the better midfielders in Europe. That's fair. On loan, that changes the whole situation. Worse yet, if we are extending his deal to 2027, that means you need to ask for more money. That's how that works, right? That's typically
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're renewing for one more year, then like you need to like ask for. Then why are you giving a 15 million purchase option? That doesn't make sense. And then again, like this 15 million, you won't get this year. You'll get like next year whenever like they trigger that purchase option.
I think it counts
So
for this financial year, but even then, you can't use that money because it's not unless it's an obligation. You can't use that money. That's not your money. It doesn't make
true,
sense. It doesn't. It
true.
doesn't track.
Like why don't you like just sell him? Like why do you have like make it a
This
loan?
is See. This is my frustration. I think we just said the confusing part about Almada, right? I'm not a fan of Thiago Almada. I've never been a fan of Thiago Almada. We've been linked to him for quite some years now, since he was in Atalanta, when he initially went to Botafogo, and even now again like after Leon, right? I've never liked uh, I've never liked his style of play. I think he has really good ball striking, and then pretty much nothing else of note. But,
Okay,
right?
okay, 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 okay. Hang on. No, 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 no. Okay, I got this. I got this.
What's
Okay, now
up? We figure
this
it
is
out.
yeah, this is much easier. Okay, I just saw the post. Okay, so basically, so so it's a 6 month loan. So the loan will expire on which is again I think it's gonna be the winter transfer market or whatever the transfer market MLS has. So it's a
Mhm.
6 month loan. Okay, so after 6 months, Rodrigo De Paul is a free agent, right? He has nothing to do with us. He can leave for free. So in order that he doesn't leave for free, we're gonna trigger that option to renew his contract for one more year. So when we do it, we are able to sell him for 15 million plus add-ons.
That's
So
still a
that's
bad
gonna
deal. that's, that's still a bad deal, though.
yeah, I mean like you should just sell him instead of like loaning him out. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was because maybe Inter Miami was giving less right now. Maybe because it's 15 million plus add-on, so possibly it can go up to like 20 something. So maybe just because to get those extra millions, maybe they agreed on a 6 month loan deal. This is what I think it is. So maybe just just to make those extra millions, they agreed on a 6 month loan, and then after 6 month loan, Rodrigo De Paul will renew his contract with Atletico for one more year, so that he can leave on a transfer fee, which is gonna be 15 million plus add-ons.
That doesn't that doesn't make any sense.
I
I'll be
think
honest.
it's because they wanna make more money. Like they wanna make a
How
couple
much
more
more money could
millions.
you really make out of this deal that would make this fight like physically make any sense?
It's add-on, so I think like it's gonna go until 20 at least. I think so. So I think they are just looking to make extra millions, like I said, and Inter Miami will cover his salary as well. So the salary situation is pretty much fixed. The transfer fee again, you won't get this. You won't get the transfer fee until uh, whatever January or December, which is a winter transfer market. So you won't get the transfer fee until the winter transfer market, and
So we're not replacing him then because we have no money to replace him.
I don't think so that's happening. Javi Guerra, if it happens, I think it has to be a very, very cheap operation, something around the lines of 10, 12, something like that.
I mean,
I
it might
haven't.
considering Valencia's recent sales. I take that back. They sold Yarrick for 9 million and they sold Muscat for 15. So you never know, I guess. And he hasn't renewed yet, has he?
No, I think Javi Guerra will come to Atletico Madrid. I think he will come to Atletico Madrid this year, and I think it's gonna be a very, very, very cheap operation. Atleti is gonna do something, maybe like give them a sell-on clause or something.
I I we've never. There's a lot of talk about how good our relationship with Valencia is supposed to be, but we've only signed Kondogbia in the past like 5 years from Valencia. Every time that we've asked about a player, it's also a whole rigmarole about, oh, we want a little bit more money and these other things. Carlos Soler was very close to joining us, and then he left to PSG for like 1 million more. Same thing again with Kang In Lee, which is kind of suspicious how PSG randomly got in contact and got the exact price and got it whatever. Um, we asked about Gaia, we asked about Korea, we asked about several players from Valencia, and every time that we've asked about them, they either renew, they get sold to another team. Kondogbia only came because he actively wanted to come and leave Valencia because of the whole COVID situation. He had no money to pay for them, and it was like a really last minute thing. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
know.
I
I
don't know.
think because again, look, Javi Guerra was very close to signing for Atletico last season. I
He
think
was.
he will sign. He will sign for Atletico this season. I think, but it's going to be a very very cheap operation. Might be a loan as well. Who knows? Might be they go with the same thing, and like loan with an option to buy. It can be. It can be. I see it happening. So yeah, I mean, wow, Rodrigo de Paul. As we were just talking, yeah, he's he's gone on a loan. Now he just like makes the transfer. Okay, again to every guy who's watching this video, I'll explain it again. The Atletico Madrid transfer saga with the ball to Inter Miami. So it's a 6 month loan. So Rodrigo de Paul he is living Atleti. He is not coming back. Don't think that after like loan he might come back. No. So Rodrigo de Paul, he is going on a 6 month loan to Inter Miami. Okay, he has accepted their 4 year contract. So after those 6 months, he will sign that 4 year contract, and he'll also sign that 1 year contract with Atletico Madrid, which will allow us to sell him for 15 million plus add-ons, which we will get after 6 months, which would be again December or January. So that's the transfer is of Rodrigo de Paul. It is almost it's confirmed by Ben Jacobs, Jacobs Ben from England. Okay, and he's a very very good journalist. Let's see if something more comes up, but this is what the thing is right now. Yeah, I
I
mean
can't
again,
I can't see how this benefits Atletico because say the Paul gets injured in that 6 month period of time, right? We are taking on a risk that we don't need to take. Like Inter Miami want the Paul. We want to sell the Paul. The Paul wants to go. He wants to play with. Everything is falling into place. I don't know how the MLS transfer system looks or how what their limit is or what their budget is. So I can't speak on that. Maybe there is some kind of thing, some kind of compromise there. I know we have some sort of relationship with Inter Miami. Something to do with our shares. I think is I'll have to come back and check on this maybe in a future episode where we can talk more cleanly about it. I'm not gonna.
no,
Uh,
I think like as the time goes on, like by the time like we'll post this video, I think like the things would be much clear about this operation. But this is as things stand.
this
This
feels
is
like
as things stand.
one of those 2019, 2020, 2017 kind of deals where you just like what am I reading? It's actually quite similar to the Samu deal. Actually, we didn't even talk about that. Samu just so Porto now has 100% of Samu's rights, as
True, true,
they paid 5 million for the extra 20%, and then they paid 7 million for the
true.
final amount.
So it's almost like we sold Samu for around what like 32, 35, something like this.
32 million. So we sold them for
32.
15, and then we sold these extra rights for about another, I think, another 17. Um, is that a? It's not a good deal by any stretch of the margin because Samuel looks like he could probably get sold for almost 100 million now.
I mean, like, look, 32. I would say it's a fair deal to be honest, because again, Samu like he still has a lot to prove. I would say.
He does, but if you consider the fact that Hoyland went to Man United for 75 million plus 10 in advance, right?
But
Samu
again, he was a starter for Atlanta. I mean, like he was doing pretty
and
well.
scored about 9 league goals. Nothing to talk
Ye-
about. And then went to Man United and did about the exact same output the past 2 years. Ain't nothing to talk about. I think I think he's a talented young player. I don't like watching him, but I think he has talent, and there's a reason why clubs are interested in him. I would never pay 75 million for him, but
After I saw his performance in Club World Cup, like I'm not really sure to be honest. But again, let's see. Maybe he
I'm talking
can,
about
like.
I think he was decent, but I think not one Portuguese team played particularly well in the World Cup either. So I really, but
Yeah, but yeah, anyway, moving on from
let's
Samu.
get
I mean,
into it.
yeah.
I'm just a bit
Uh,
confused about our business right now.
yes, so I think, like, I mean, good point actually. So like we received 25 for Arthur Vermeeren, right? So and then we received this money from Samu for Samu operation as well, so which
Right.
is around 17. So yeah, and then again, so they are the ball.
Well, Samu left at the very end of the window and we didn't buy anybody and we went to the transfer market. So I guess it technically counts for this too.
Yes, so I think the Rodrigo de Paul money isn't useful at all at the moment. So I mean, Javi Guerra, it makes sense. We might go for him, like, like whenever we get our targets, and then we see like maybe Javi Guerra, if we can get him for cheap. But right now, I would say the rumors. Let's just talk about another operation which is going on at the moment. Is he's Areso to Atletico Madrid and Nahuel Molina to Villarreal, most probably. So is okay. Now I think about, is Nahuel Molina leaving on a permanent transfer? Because again, like we need money. So like, is Nahuel Molina is the bait right now? Like, is he, like going on that sacrifice for 2025 again? Again, I don't think Villarreal is paying 25. Obviously,
No,
it'll be around 15 or 20 only. So it's Nahuel Molina. I'm giving the bait. I don't know. Let's see. Again. So yeah, guys. Again. So the rumor is Jesus Arezzo is very close to sign for Atletico de Madrid from Osasuna. He was very close to sign for Athletic Bilbao, but then Atleti entered the race because again we have nothing to do. So yeah, we entered the race, and so now he's also is very close to join Atletico de Madrid, and Noel Molina is on his way out. And I mean, like Noel Molina this season, I mean, he wasn't really a starter; he was a backup, and he had a few decent games, but that's it. So maybe now, so the initially the talk was like Noel Molina would leave on loan. Now, after this operation of Rodrigo de Paul, I'm not really sure if it's going to be a loan
mm,
because again, we need money. So like, I won't be surprised if Nahuel Molina is actually sold for, let's say, 15 to 20 million. I won't be surprised, but let's see. Let's see. As again, this thing is also going on right now. So again, by the time we finish this video, there might be some leads on this operation as well. So he's Lareso again. He can be the next Atletico de Madrid signing after Thiago Almada. Which again, lot of things are going on inside Atletico de Madrid. But it is what it is. I mean, I would say like we have acquired our targets, Cardoso by now, and Ruggeri and left back, and now Thiago Almada, obviously. So again, Thiago Almada wasn't a target, but again, yeah, we have acquired our three targets, that's for sure. So that's a good thing, and we acquired them before the preseason as well. That's also a good thing. Uh, Now this default situation is really complicated, which I don't know. I mean, there must be something because again, like, why would you like if you want to sell him, like, well, why wouldn't you like sell him right now? So there must be something. I think, like like
I
in
believe
a
I believe who was it that told me? Somebody told me that one of the directors in Inter Miami is directly related to Miguel Angel Gil.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Good point. Good point. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. He is related to Miguel Angel Guimaraes. So yeah, can be that as well. Like yo, bro. Like like I don't have a cash right now. So like, can you do something about this? Like, yeah, sure, bro. I got you. So yeah, you can have him for 6 months, and then you can pay me later. Can be something like that. Who
Mm.
knows? But let's see as like it's a developing situation. I think more things will get clear in a few hours or within a few days, but anyway. And next also the his RSO thing, it will get solved within a few hours or few days. And next is Ademola Lukman, like we were talking, like again he's also linked to Atleti, but his transfer can only happen if we sell I mean, like, to be honest, I'm just gonna say the player's name because that's what the talk was going on. So Samolino. If we say Samolino, Ademola Lookman, I think we can go for him. But again, so like now this is a hurry moment as well. Like I think like because Inter Milan are actually like going for Ademola Lookman, and they're all like they're ready to pay around 50 million as well. And Lookman has a personal agreement with Inter Milan as well. So now this is a race against time. So let's see if we can sell again. This can be the operation which can happen within a few days as well. So yeah, we might have to make a video again for all these transfer. Rodrigo de Paul, Nahuel Molina,
I can
and
give my quick thoughts on it before we give it the full depth
Nahuel
in
Molina,
next
and
video.
then Ademola Lookman. So yeah, you guys might see us soon. But yeah, Saint Keeks, closing the episode. Yeah, your thoughts on these situations right
Ooh,
now.
nice. I get a closer. Nice. Not a fan of a lot of not Lookman. Not a fan of how we're conducting our business right now. I think that the poor situation kind of threw a wrench, but it was also, from what we've already discussed, kind of par for the course at this point. I feel like we've taken some really nice steps with Ruggieri and Cardoso and Bayano, and then we've taken some really awkward or even bad steps with these other signings and these other situations. We were interested in Lookman about a week or two ago now. We were very aware of Lookman's situation. He wants to leave Atalanta. He thinks he can take the next step. Atletico is one of those teams that he thinks is an interesting team. We are interested in him. We know his price is about 40 to 50 million. While he has a 60 million release clause, nobody's paying a 60 million release clause when he has a year left on his deal. But he's a very good player. Atalanta can rightfully demand about 40 to 50 million for Lookman. We need an attacker. We just lost Korea. Korea's replacement was supposed to be Lookman. We have, in this situation, in this whole saga, managed to put on 20 million for 50% of Almada's rights. Nobody asked for him. Well, as a lie, Simeone asked for him, and as well as the other deals. So they asked for him. I don't know why you would ask for him in this situation. Benfica signing Almada doesn't really change anything to me, because if we wanted to get Almada, we could just talk to him and say, hey, try and put a low release clause in your deal, you know, and we'll try and
He,
figure out the situation
he,
afterwards.
he,
I
he
don't
would have
like.
waited.
I
He would have
don't think
waited for sure. He would
he
have
will finish for
waited for
wait.
sure.
If you think he's a market opportunity, let him wait. Lookman is a priority in terms of attack, and we still have a major priority in terms of centre back. We still have to know. We now also have to figure out a way to replace the ball. These are three different things that make more sense than signing Almada at any point in time. I don't think we should
Again,
have signed Almada
again,
at all. But
again, a
that's
good point. Good point. A very good point. I mean, like we're making the signings like up front of the field, like we have the best defense in the world at the back. But yeah, good. We still have defenders to sign.
so we're not signing Mourinho as Atleti Universe had an exclusive where they said Mourinho's arrival here is very unlikely. It seems that is the case because it's for 4 million buyback for a player who, in the two times that we played against him, we struggled to score any goals or create any serious chances. As soon as he came off in the first game, we scored two on him on Alaves. What a surprise! And then the next game, he didn't come off, so we just didn't score, and Alaves could have won it. We have chosen Longley over him for some reason. Couldn't tell you why. We have no new news on Romero. I think the last time we talked about Romero, it seemed like the deal was done and we had to figure out a new path and all these other things. We have not seen any concrete interest in terms of centre backs since that period of time, which is very frightening. We have three centre backs, two of which I don't feel particularly safe with. I am not sure what the solution here is because when you look at our academy, I like Costis. Costis is not a starter. Costis should be going to Segunda right now on loan, figuring out his preseason with his new team and getting his legs in. He is for some reason playing preseason with us. We have Danny Martinez, who's also very good. I would have used him as a backup, but Longley's position more likely means that he is a backup. that is now no longer an opportunity for him. There's a very weird case where it's like these centre backs that should be maybe looked at are a little too fresh or shouldn't even be looked at right this summer. They should be doing other things in terms of experience. We lost Adrian Nino to Malaga, which is why I have this little thing here. Um, who has been one of he's there's so many problems I have in terms of our business, right? The youth sector looks very like let me find the word. Looks very disconnected.
Don't forget Iturbe as well. Iturbe has left
It's
for Elche.
okay. Not my I'm not the biggest fan, but he's very clearly talented, right? He's been talented in the Olympics for us last season when they won it. He's been talented throughout this period of time. Iturbe is now gone to Elche. We're looking to sign a goalkeeper instead of just promoting Esquivel or Usemi from the C team. There's so many things that are weird with our academy. And then we looked at our main team and it's like, all right, well, Lino didn't have a great season, but this is our third year with him. Well, sorry, well, second year with him with us. He went to Valencia on loan, looked fantastic. Had a great first debut season with Atletico. Didn't have a great second season, but immediately he's gone. Okay. Molina,
Again, we don't know if he's going or not because again we have to
we do.
find someone.
I think that's the part that confuses me the most. Why?
Because again, if he leaves, Lookman is definitely coming.
Sure. Well, I don't know about definitely because the period of time that let's say it takes a week for us to sell for us to sell Lino, right? And Inter Milan signed Lookman in that period of time. What's our next target? Have you seen any news about another target? You see how disjointed, like outside that Bayana deal, we've been wanting to get Bayana for a long time. Same thing with
You know, you know
Same-
how I feel. How I feel right now is like Atletico is acting like we have a transfer deadline day coming up within next few days.
right.
We're acting like oh shit, we have to do this. Oh shit, we have
To
to
get
do
these
this.
things, right? And
Yeah.
all of the actual key positions that we wanted since January, that we needed since not just January, since years ago now, actually. We have not signed a properly good new centre back in some years. Lenormand is the only first one that we've signed in some years, and I don't particularly think he's going to be a game changer. But he's been good. For 40 million, I can't say the same though. And then you turn around and you say, well, we haven't looked at any centre backs. In the midfield, who are we? The Guerra situation. Me and you have speculations. We can't guarantee anything. What if Guerra signs a renewal? You know, all of a sudden you now have to look at a new midfielder because Rios is going to Roma, and there's no other cheap, high quality midfielders that we can really look at in terms of our direct radar. And then you turn around and you say, okay, well who's our center? Like you're moving you're panicking and you're signing players you really don't need. Areso, why are you signing a substitute right back? Because he's not starting over Llorente. He's not going to be over Llorente. And then Molina's going to leave. So why wouldn't you sell him after the World Cup when he's very clearly going to play well and have a good time? And again, this is going to be his first ever preseason with us. We're going to sell him before he gets that, or even gets a chance to look at. And then it's like you look at all of this and you're like, did you actually have a plan? Did you have a plan outside of Bayana and Cardoso and Ruggieri? Because it doesn't seem like it. Like everything else, in terms of the centre backs, in terms of midfield, in terms of like the Paul staying or leaving was a surprise to me at the start of the summer. The fact that
I
he's
mean,
actually going is not a surprise in the end, but it's like the fact that we haven't found the replacement or even have sounded out a proper replacement is a bit of a surprise. We have
no, I
no
mean like
control over destiny.
Rodrigo de Paul. Like there were talks about Rodrigo de Paul like the past summer as well. Like where we like there were rumors about like him joining teams in Serie A, like Inter Milan or Juventus. There were talks about him joining Serie A. So I think both didn't really like him that much. It was just Simeone which was trying to
Right.
like cool him. So I think like, and the board like needed like an excuse, and like Rodrigo De Paul gave a massive excuse in the Club World Cup. So I think Rodrigo De Paul was definitely set. Like I knew after the Club World Cup, like he's leaving. Like there's no way. Like like now board would be like oh no, like we should keep him. I knew it. Like he is gone uh,
Hmm.
after that Club World Cup performance. So I think I would say again, like they definitely had a plan with Cardoso, Baina, and Ruggeri. So the rest, Almada, I think that happened. I don't think like they had a there was like instance like they just saw a market opportunity and like they went for it.
I
Almada was
wish
that. Now
I
Lookman,
wish that they used that kind of thought process and said, well, the same thing for positions we need. So if Mourinho is forming a buy back Mourinho, loan him back to Alaves. If you think he's not good enough for us, just loan him back to Alaves. You know? But if not, then not. It doesn't make sense to not even take the gamble. It's like there's very little to lose with Mourinho. There's very little to lose with in terms of right backs. Did we really need to sign a substitute right back right now? Is that a real priority for our squad? Like, is Molina so bad we need to sign a guy? Like, some people will say yes, but even then, is it more of a priority to centre backs? I can't say yes. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't say the same thing about the attacks because we just lost Korea. So who's gonna come in to replace him? Carlos Martinez is probably gonna go back up a little bit. Rodrigo Riquelme is gone. Seems to be on his way out as well. It just seems like
okay,
everything at Atletico right now seems very
okay.
disjointed.
More news coming about Rodrigo De Paul. So Rodrigo De Paul, more news is coming. So again, it's from Ben Jacobs or Jacobs Ben, how you wanna call it. So Sergio Busquets and Luis Suarez, so they retire at the end of the season, which is December. Okay, so Rodrigo De Paul, he renews with Atletico until 2027, so he can leave on a transfer fee.
Mhm.
Okay, so until December, De Paul will not be able to play with Inter Miami. So he's staying until December, I guess. In January, the 15 million euro clause is activated to settle accounts.
What happens if he's injured in that period of time?
I mean, pray to God. I don't know. Go to.
Okay.
Okay, this is a very awkward operation, I would say. Let's see. I think again, like I said, like like in coming hours there will be like more news coming up. So let's see what happens. By the time like we finish this video, I mean like we are like almost finished. So yeah, when we finish this video, this would be again. I think the things would be like much more clarified, and then again we have to do a video again on Rodrigo De Paul, which we'll do. It's okay.
This is our
All
fourth
right, guys.
video. Well, yeah.
Yeah, Nepal. It's going to be a special episode on Nepal. So yeah. All right, guys. To everyone who's watching us, do let us know your opinions. Do let us know your comments on Rodrigo Nepal operation, Lukman, Almada, Johnny Cardoso. What do you think about the Atletico Madrid transfer window so far? Like, are you guys happy with it, or do you have like mixed feelings, or like are you disappointed with it? Like personally for me, I'm not disappointed at all. I think again, but I do have, I would say, mixed feelings here and there, but I'm not disappointed because again, like I got like Baina again, I'm excited for him. Cardoso again, good player. Then Ruggeri again, I'm excited for him. And then Thiago Almada, I mean, like footballing wise, it's good, but then again, uh, Thiago Almada again, I would say like we have to add one more forward with Almada. Then it's a very good signing, whether Lukman comes in or anyone else comes in. So we have to add a forward with Almada. That's for sure. Now, the Paul thing, I'm not really sure. Like, it's a very complicated operation. And then the next one is Jesus Areso and Nahal Molina. Again, I'm not sure what's going to happen because I think Molina was a perfect backer for Lorente. Jesus Areso again, he might change my opinion again, or he does not, or maybe he doesn't even get like 1 minute for Atletico Madrid. We've seen Matt Doherty in the past, and so yeah, it can happen. That can happen as well. So let's see. But anyway, guys, this video is gonna get long. I mean, it is already longer, but yeah, do let us know your opinions and also subscribe to our channel. Like, help us reach 500. And it's been a very long time. We're still aiming that 500 number. So do help us reach that number. Share it with your friends so we can create this athletic community. Until then, Opo Atleti, and we'll see you guys soon with the new video on Rodrigo de Paul. That's for sure. Until then, see you guys. See you soon.